Oh, I think we're back. All right. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, sorry, we went out for a brief period, but we're back with Colby Covington. So, Colby, as you were talking about, your experiences when you were young after taking up wrestling. So, could you please elaborate on that?
Yeah, I picked up wrestling because, I was the little guy. I was the little kid on the block. The guy that was undersized and the midget, so to speak, is what they called us. So, I picked up wrestling to defend myself. I didn't want to be bullied. I was sick of going to the park and getting beat up by kids and then coming home crying. I wanted to be that tough kid who was able to defend himself and kids feared more than anything. I wanted guys to respect me. It wasn't like most kids, they pick up wrestling because they want to beat kids up and hurt them. I wasn't like that kind of kid growing up. I was the type of kid that I wanted people to respect me and they knew not to mess with me.
Right.
So that's why I picked up wrestling. So as soon as I got as good as I got in wrestling, guys, they'd look at me like, oh my gosh, Colby, that guy's a beast. They don't even look at me. They'd get scared to look at me in the eyes. So that was what I did it for. I didn't do it to be a bully because I'm not a bully. I don't believe in bullying, but I do believe in respect, and that's what I wanted to earn.
Right, and another thing is, you're in Singapore, you have to fight Dong Hyun Kim. Now, Stan Gun has some impressive victories on his resume as well. A victory over Stan Gun would propel you into the upper echelons of the welterweight division. So, how do you size up your opponent? Because the last time we talked, you showed a lot of respect. But Dong Hyun Kim did an interview yesterday where he said, "Look, it's when I get in the cage, I have to kill. I'll kill him, then I'll survive, then I'll talk about everything else." So, how do you size up your opponent?
I size him up as he's just another opponent in front of me. I don't really look at the name. I don't look at the ranking. He's ranked number 7 in the world, but I'm the favorite. I'm a plus 220. I'm a negative 225 favorite in this fight. So why am I such a big favorite? And he's number 7 in the world. So I think that kind of shows that rankings don't mean a lot.
Right.
And I believe in myself that I can beat anybody in the world right now. It doesn't matter if it's Dong Hyun Kim or Tyrone Woodley. I'm coming to put on exciting fights, and I'm coming to win. So. I just size up Dong Hyun Kim as a judo guy who's going to come forward, and he's probably going to want to put on a good show for his fans in Asia. And I plan on giving the fans of Asia a great show, and we're going to collide. And the president reached out to me. He doesn't want me to kill Dong Hyun Kim because South Korea is an ally to America, so tensions are high right now. So I'm just going to beat him up good. I'm not going to kill him like he wants to kill me.
All right, and you even talked about Tyrone Woodley a couple of days ago as well, saying the top guys in the welterweight division are kind of over the hill in terms of age. So how do you analyze this transition? Because you have someone like Damian Maia who's going to fight Tyrone Woodley, and Damian Maia is not young himself. So how do you assess the situation in the welterweight division where the top couple of people, even until Jorge Masvidal, are kind of in the mid-30s?
Yeah, I assess it as, this is my time now. Those guys had their time, and this is my time. So if I go steal an emphatic win this Saturday against Dong Hyun Kim, I can maybe pass these guys up, Damian Maia, he's not ready to fight. He's not a real fighter. Real fighters are ready to fight, and they're ready to fight all the time. He says, I'm ready to fight back to back, and I like to be active. Last year I fought 3 times in 6 months, and I like to do that. I like to fight every 2 months. So I'm going to be looking to, after I finish Dong Hyun Kim on Saturday, to look to turn around and fight in July or August.
Right, and the other thing is, if you see a fight recently of Dong Hyun Kim's, like for example against John Hathaway, you kind of see that he's lethal when it comes to his elbows, particularly. So he has that striking kind of repertoire. So how do you look at that aspect of Dong Hyun Kim's game?
I think those type of fights are a completely different fight than he's going to be in with me, because when he's fighting those guys are so worried about takedowns that they can't really open up in their striking, so they're just coming forward, and they're not really, there's no strategy or game plan behind it. I have a completely different game plan than those fighters that he's fought, and that he was able to do that to. He kept those guys kind of off balance and not really there in the striking because they were so worried they were going to get taken down.
Right.
He would take those guys down and pound them out and look for submissions, but that's not the type of fight he's going to be in with me. With me, I'm the better grappler, I'm the better wrestler, so he's not going to be able to just come forward and march forward and throw spinning elbows. If he does, he's going to end up on his back, and it's going to be a long night for him because I'm going to elbow him to death.
Right, and the other important aspect that we look at Dong Hyun Kim's game is his takedown defense, which is very impressive as well. So how do you kind of see the ground game? Because you just said you're the better grappler, you're going to take him down. But when, how do you see the fight going when the fight hits the ground?
I see me just controlling him. He's shown in his last fight with Safin, he got taken down by Safin like 2 times.
Right.
Safin was able to take his back. Safin is nowhere near the level of grappler that I am. And if I take you back and get to your back, you're not going to go anywhere for a little bit. I'm like glue. I'm like flies on rice, man. You know how flies on rice are. They ain't getting off their rice. They're staying on their rice. So
Right.
when I get on Dong Hyun Kim's back, he's going to take a lot of punishment, and he's going to feel the weight of me on his back, because I know how to ride. You know, going through college wrestling, there's different type of riding that we learn than any other sport or grappler or judo or this and that had learned. We know how to ride and really put our weight and make guys feel it. So even if he escapes from me, he's going to feel the weight, and he's going to feel all the lactic acid, all the muscles and blood rushing through his body. So it's a different fight with me than it's ever been with anybody else.
Right, and just talking about the welterweight division itself, someone like Jorge Masvidal, after his victory over, say, someone like Donald Cerrone, kind of shot up, in the rankings. He got very close to the title fight as well before he lost to Damian Maia. So it kind of proves that 1 or 2 fights can change the entire division. So, as you said, 1 victory over Dong Hyun Kim, you are looking at jumping in the rankings. When you size your opponents, those top 5, top 10 guys in the welterweight division, who do you think realistically you could probably face with a victory over someone like Dong Hyun Kim?
Robbie Law or Stephen Thompson, if they're out there, let me know if you can find them.
All right, and just because you mentioned Robbie Lawler, you train out of ADT, and Robbie Lawler at one point trained out of American Top Team. So, did you get the opportunity when you were training to spar with him? And if so, can you just tell us about your experiences? Because we have heard about Robbie, when he's training, he's kind of like an aggressive fighter, even in the sparring sessions. So, have you had the opportunity to spar with him?
Yeah, I sparred with him for 3-4 years every day. He was getting ready for Johnny Hendricks fighting a southpaw wrestler.
Right.
That's what I am, a southpaw wrestler. So, I've had the opportunity to train with him a lot, and I feel my skills match up very good against him. And if I had to fight him, I'd be very, very confident that I would beat him. I guess it's an unspoken rule. You're not supposed to talk about how training goes, but I'll just tell you that if we fought, I'd be very confident that I would get my hand raised.
All right, perfect. And now, kind of shifting focus to Singapore itself. How has your experience been? Because you've been here for some time. You were in Singapore back in April as well. So how has your experience been so far in Singapore?
Oh man, my Singapore experience has been unbelievable, man. This is like a life-changing experience, to be honest. Just to see the culture here and just all the cool little things, from the gardens by the bay to the Merlion where it just shoots water out.
Right.
Just the views, man, are unbelievable here. Like the city is just so cool, and I love it here. There's the culture, the food is really good, and it's just a beautiful island. I'm thankful to be here. It's just an awesome journey I'm on.
Right, and I asked you this previously, but I'm just gonna have to ask you again. I represent India. I'm here on behalf of the entire country.
$10 or $8.5.
Okay, so one shout out, one message to Indian fans, because I know you have to go. I just want him to get an interview done as well, so I'm kind of cautious about the time. But one shout out to Indian fans, if possible.
Okay, yeah. Thank. I just want to say thank you so much to all the Indian fans. You got nothing but love for me, much respect. I'm gonna put on a good performance on Saturday for you guys and leave it all out there and put it on the line for you Indian fans.
Thank you, Colby.
Thank you very much.
We wish you all the very best for your upcoming fight against Dong Hyun Kim this Saturday.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. So I think. Oh, we have a few questions. Would it be okay if I can ask you a few questions as well?
For sure.
Okay, so do you feel you're one win away from hitting the big time?
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely.
Okay, any specific training and surprises for Dong Hyun Kim?
Yeah, I got some surprises in store. I'm not just a wrestler anymore, so he thinks in his head that I'm just coming to wrestler. I'm coming to fight. I'm a complete fighter, and I'm going to show my whole well-rounded game.
And, okay, do you follow Super Fight League in India?
Yeah, a little bit. My friend fought there, I think, Todd Duffy.
Todd Duffy, yes.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Have you followed the recent season?
I haven't followed the recent season.
Okay, so during the recent season, they gave about $4 million for the winners. So what are your thoughts on professional fighters? Okay, so this is about PFL, Professional Fighters League, giving 1 million to winner, along with monthly check, emerging options for fighters.
Wow, that's awesome, man. That's the best thing I've heard. You know, that's what there needs to be. There needs to be competition out there. There needs to be outlets and avenues for guys to make money outside the UFC, because it's tough to get in the UFC. There's a lot of guys that don't ever make it that were very worthy. So it's awesome to see. I want to see everybody in the sport succeed and make a living. You know, it's about making a good living for yourself and providing for yourself and your family.
Right, and your roots are in wrestling, but you show outstanding boxing skills. So can you tell us about the evolution of a stand-up game?
Yeah, the evolution of the stand-up game has been an ongoing thing. That's the thing I work on the most every day. I've kind of put wrestling in the back seat, and I just work on boxing 6-7 days a week. So I want to be the most well-rounded fighter in the world. I know my wrestling's at the top of the food chain. Now I'm going to show that my striking's at the top of the food chain as well.
All right, and one tidbit, John Jones was a roommate of yours. So one person asked, are you still in touch? And is there any difference between him then and now?
No, we don't still keep in touch, and there's definitely a difference between him now and then. He used to be a lot more humble, and he came from a different beginning, but now he's gotten famous and it's blown up in his head. He's taken it for granted, and he's not the same person. And obviously you guys see what he's doing in the media. You know, he just continues to make dumb butthead mistakes. So, nothing but respect to him, though. He just lost his mother the last week, so I wish him and his family well.
All right, fantastic. So that's the questions. Thank you, Colby.
Cool.